What's going on, everybody? Welcome for the first time to the channel. And today, for our first video, we're gonna do a Fluffal deck profile. So let's get right into it. Before we move into our monster lineup, I have a quick disclaimer. First, English isn't my first language, so I apologize if I stutter a little bit or get stuck on a word. I am trying to work on it and get better as the future moves on. Secondly, this is a bit of a budget build because I am not playing the Forbidden Droplet as it's typical for most Fluffal builds. I apologize, but with the COVID-19 situation, some of us have a very limited budget, but I will try to get I'll place it for that for a future profile so it gets to the very best version Fluffals can have for you guys. So let's move right into our monster lineup. So first of all, I am playing 3 Fluffal dogs. Here's the third. Apologize. Fluffal Dog is the searcher for the deck, pretty much the Stratus of the deck, searches any Fluffal monster and Edgem Sabers. Used to be the main playmaker for the deck, but I believe that role has shifted into this guy, which is 3 Fluffal Penguins. Penguin with his ability to special summon a monster from your hand, that not being a hard once per turn, is so insane. Like it gets you into so many good plays, and with the new support you can come back to playing stuff like Bahamut Shark and Toad actually being back to 2 now, but I don't believe you need to play 2. 1 is more than enough. Next up, we're playing our Toy Vendor package, which is 2 Fluffal Bear and 2 Fluffal Wings. The bear effect that you can set Toy Vendor straight up to your field so you cannot get Ash on that is pretty good. And Wings being the biggest advantage card this deck has, because just banishing Wings and another Fluffal monster gets you 2 draws and a search from Toy Vendor. Pretty insane in my opinion. Next up, we're playing the one-off Fluffal monsters. We're playing 1 Dolphin. Some people play this at 2. I believe that 1 is more than enough, because you don't want to use his effect, because first of all, his effect is a hard once per turn, so you cannot use it more than once per turn. But secondly, his effect does come up as the game progresses, but it doesn't need to come up that much, so I believe 1 is more than enough. Go into your Toad plays and win the game. Next up, this card should be a 2. It should be a 2, and I don't have a second one, but I believe this is the second best main deck Fluffal monster after Penguin. This is the card that I would cut to put this card at 2, Fluffal Owl. The ability to search for polymerization isn't as good as it once used to be. This deck, well, at least my build, wants to go first. I mean, if I win the die roll, I want to go first. I want to try and make a big board. And this card, sometimes it facilitates it, and sometimes it's better for going second. If I were to build a going second straight up level deck, this would be great, and this would stay at 1. Next up, for the Edgem monsters, we're playing 3 Edgem Chain. Sorry about that. The ability to search any Frightful card from your deck to your hand when this card is sent to the graveyard from your hand or your field. It's so good, because the interaction, like say with Toy Vendor draws this and then sends it from your hand to the graveyard, activates its effect. Search for a Frightful Patchwork, and then you get more cards for your hand, more polys. Next up, the new support Edgem Scythe. The ability to poly on turn 0. It is so cool. It's so incredibly good. Poly, interrupt your opponent, get your opponent, like pop a monster your opponent really needs, or pop a card your opponent needs, and then try to pop the card you summon, defend it with Scythe. So good. So very, very good. Next up, we're playing Edgem Sabers. This is the last Edgem monster. Really, really good extender in my opinion, because when it is in the graveyard, you can set 1 card from your hand on the top of your deck and special summon it in defense position. Considering how many cards Fluffal draw and searches, your hand is always going to have resources to summon this back and go into more plays like Verde Anaconda or Appaloosa. Last monsters for the main deck are the Red Eyes Black Dragon and the Dark Magician. Vanillas for the Dragoon play. One monster that right now isn't in my main deck, but it might as well, it could be. It's not just one monster, it's pretty much an entire package. It is the Gamma Driver package. I'm not playing this right now. I will be testing it out in the future, but right now this card is off the deck. Consider playing this card if you don't have access to droplets. Consider this because this is so good. It's the best hand rep in the meta right now. And for our spells, we're playing 3 Toy Vendor. Best spell in the deck, my opinion. Not being a hard once per turn to activate it, not being a hard once per turn when you want to send a card from your hand to draw one card. It is a soft once per turn, which means if I activate one Toy Vendor's effect to send a card and I want to activate it again, I need another Toy Vendor. But the ability when it goes to the graveyard to search any Fluffal monster or Edgem Saber is basically the same effect as Fluffal Dog. Pretty insane in my opinion. Next up, we're playing 3 Foolish Burial Goods. We want to get as quick as possible to our Fluffal Penguin and our Fluffal Dolphin. Send Toy Vendor to the graveyard. There's also another target for this, but mostly you want to use this to send Toy Vendor to the graveyard, search a Fluffal monster, start your plays, and go for the big board, or the win if you're going second. Also, we're playing 3 Poly. It's a fusion deck, there's no need to explain more than this. Next up, we're playing 3 Patchwork. Basically, pre-preparation of rights for Fluffals and pretty much anyone who wants to play an Edgem engine with polys. I've seen Shadows do it. It doesn't work that bad for them. This card is so insane. I wish we could have gotten it sooner. We got it pretty late. For the one-offs, Frightful Fusion. Go into Wolf. It can help you build a solid first turn board if you don't have many resources. I will show you a combo in a later video. This card will get cut once I get my hands on Harpy's Feather Duster. Because, well, at one-off, if I had to choose a one-off of this or Harpy's Feather Duster, I would probably pick Harpy's Feather Duster. But since this is a 40 card deck, I could go 41. I could add Harpy's Feather Duster. Next up, Frightful Repair. Playing it as a one-off. Really good card. His first effect doesn't come up that often, or not even at all in my opinion. But its second effect, once you send it, say, from Cruel Whale to the graveyard to special summon a Fluffal monster from your hand, usually you will summon that dog. It's just an insane extender. It gives you so many options. It helps you go into your Appaloosa Blaze, it helps you go into a big board Blaze, and it can also help you with OTKs down the line. Last, and certainly not least, this is the one card I don't think I ever want to draw. It's Red Ice Fusion. Because while the ability to summon Dragoons is... sorry, not Dragoons, we're not playing Atlanteans, Dragoon, Red Ice Dark Dragoon. The ability to summon it is pretty insane. I believe Fluffal can make much more solid boards than just putting a Dragoon on field and saying, hey, beat this. So this card, you never want to draw it, but if you do, there's still plays you can do with it. Set up your Dragoons, see if you can survive for another turn. For our extra deck, so extra deck space is pretty tight, but we made our best. We're playing 3 Cruel Whale. This is the new Frightful support card we got recently. This card is so good. I cannot stress enough how good this card is. First of all, it's a level 9, so you know what that means. Calamities. Get 2 of these on board, set up a Calamities, and if you think you can sit on that, that is great. Secondly, once this card is fusion summoned, you can pop 1 card on your field and 1 card on your opponent's field. Take note of that. That is really good. And thirdly, this card can target any fusion monster. Some people tend to forget that. They think it's just for Frightfuls. No, you can target Dragoon for this card. Send a Frightful card from your deck or extra deck to the graveyard and also boost its attack by half its original attack. Usually, you will send the Frightful Repair. Next up, sorry about that, we're playing 2 Frightful Sabertooth. This is our Frightful engine. Not as big as a card as it used to be, since also I'm not playing 38. I could consider even cutting this to 1. I might just try that. If I find there's a need, maybe I'll play the artifact package again. Frightful Tiger. For the pop plays, pop your entire opponent's board. Frightful Wolf for the OTK. And Frightful Kraken. Just a one-off. These are one-offs in my opinion. There's no need to play any more of them. pretty good as it is. This and this are still the 8k OTK. Next up, we're playing the Dragoons. There's nothing that needs to be explained more than that. Dragoons is great. It is a great card. It is Dragoons. It is probably the best boss monster in the game, in my opinion. For our Xyz package, we're playing 1 Bahamut, 1 Toad, 1 Calamities. Bahamut, go Penguin, go Dolphin, get your advantage, set up your toy vendor again, get Wings in the graveyard, and then go into these two. Just having Penguin in hand and, like, say, a Foolish Burial Goods, this will get you Toad turn 1, and actually in under 4 summons, which means you have immunity for Nibiru. Next up, we're playing 1 Verde Anaconda. We have 2 targets for this. Actually, we have 5 targets for this if you think about it. We have Poly, we have Fright for Fusion, and we have Red Eyes Fusion. It's just such a good card for Fusion decks, not just mine. Crushy. Fusion summon to one of these Link Arrows, get a Monster Reborn. No need to explain more than that. Get your Penguin back from your graveyard, extend into bigger and better plays. And last but definitely not least, we have Appaloosa. Considering I'm playing Dragoon, this usually doesn't come up as much. If I wasn't playing Dragoon, I would definitely be aiming for a board including Appaloosa, Calamities, and Totally Awesome. But since I'm playing Dragoons, the best board I can make includes Appaloosa for 3, Dragoons, Calamities, and Toad. But usually we end up on Calamities, Toad, and Dragoon. But not to say this is a bad card. So I want to thank you very much for watching my Fluffal deck profile. And I hope you come and visit my channel again. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. And as it always will be, it's gonna be easy. See ya.